Alright folks, we're going to make burgers with meat that's not ideal. You want a good thick rind of ground beef with at least 20% fat. So this is none of those things. This is extra lean ground beef, only 4% fat. So that will not make a great burger on its own. It's going to cook up and be dry. So how do we solve that? We just need to add moisture. Normally I would add bacon. Bacon's pretty fatty, so you get raw bacon, chop it up, and add that at about like a 30%, and you'll end up with a pretty close to ideal fat percentage. Still, you've got pretty thin grind on ground beef, but you can't have everything. I'm not going to use bacon today. I am going to use something else that many people have in their fridge, and that is mushrooms. The mushrooms are like sponges. They are filled with water. If we chop these up and mix them through the ground beef, we'll get little chunks of moisture in much the same way you would with little chunks of fat. We're going to take these, we're going to grind them, and then we are going to add them to our burgers. So the first thing you want to do is grind your mushroom. And let me show you the best way to do that. Get a bowl like this, put your mushrooms in. You want a fairly fine chop on the mushrooms, and then we will add our beef, like that. Now you don't want to work it too hard, because you're not really trying to knead it. You just want to distribute the mushrooms and shape it into a couple of balls. Now, balls. Depending on how big a burger you like, you want your burgers to be a little bit bigger than the bun that you are eating, because they will shrink a little bit as they cook. So that's 3 hefty burgers. So this was just under a pound of meat. I probably use a 1/4 pound of mushrooms. You want to wait until you're ready to cook before you season them at all. So if you're not going to cook right away, put these in the fridge like this. If you're going to cook right away, take them straight out to the grill.
It is a scorcher out here today.
Alright, here we go. We have our burgers here, we have our buns, we got some salt and pepper, we've got some oil in a squirt bottle back there, and a beer. When we've taken this stuff off, we'll pull the foil out and we'll put the finished stuff on the tray underneath. That is a Jess Pryles special right there. On the cooking side of the grill, we're going to do the burgers 2 ways. We're going to do 1 or 2 straight on the charcoal itself, and then we're going to do 1 in the pan. So I want to show you the difference between like a regular like restaurant style burger and a more like fast food smash style burger. We've got bacon grease already there in my pan there, but I need to grease my cooktop a little bit. So what I'm going to do, put some paper towel there, squirt it down with some oil. I'm going to use my tongs like this. So for our burger patties, I'm going to keep things really simple. Straight salt and pepper right before we cook it, like that. A little bit of oil, just to make sure it doesn't stick, and then bam. Same here, salt and pepper, a little bit of oil, make sure it doesn't stick, and bam. The final guy, salt and pepper, you know the trick, a bit of oil, bam. Burger in the pan right here, we're going to turn it into what's called a smash burger. That's where we put a spatula, a pretty hefty spatula, and we just push down and really flatten it out. That's going to increase the surface area of the burger, it's going to thin it, make it cook quicker, and you smash it right there before any of the fat has turned into liquid, although I don't really have a lot of fat in here, but you get the picture. The ones on the grill, I'm not going to try and flatten. Obviously, if you tried to flatten them, they would push through the grates and then become much harder to get out. As it is, they can stick pretty easily through the grates. It's often a good idea to just run your spatula under it just to make sure it's not sticking too hard. Other than that, we just cook. And we can go ahead and season the top of these burgers now. And be generous with the seasoning. Just like before, put a little bit of oil on the top there. Not too much. Doesn't really need it, but you know, I always feel like it's a little bit of added insurance. There's no set number of times you should flip a burger. You just kind of do it as you feel like it. It certainly doesn't hurt to flip it more than once. And the important thing with a burger is you want it to get nice and brown. Like the browner the outside, the more flavor, right? Because the brown bits, that's the Maillard reaction, and that is where all the flavor is. We also want a little bit of toast on our buns, so we'll go ahead and kind of put them around the edge. We don't want them super toasty, but we do want them warm. Alright, how are we looking? With this guy. With this guy, look at that color. That's nice and brown. That's nice and brown. Alright, I'm going to finish all three of these burgers in the pan, and that's not essential, but what I want is I want this cheese to melt over the top of them. And so by putting it in the pan, I can put the top on the pan and keep that heat inside and let it kind of help steam and melt the cheese while it's cooking. I made some burger sauce. This is equal parts mayo, ketchup, and yellow mustard, so super simple. I also have some pickles, homemade pickles. When I make my pickles, I also throw in maybe half an onion in there, and so I get a little bit of onion in there as well as the pickle itself. You can eat your burgers medium rare if you want. I tend to be a little bit suspicious of supermarket ground beef, so I tend to cook mine through. And that's where the smash burger really comes into its own. You can see how delicious that's gotten. Look how well the cheese has melted. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we'll pull that off the heat. Move that out of the way. So now all we need to do is assemble our burgers. Alright, so we'll go ahead and assemble our burgers. First of all, we want some burger sauce on the tops and bottoms. Top, bottom. Alright. Next we'll take our burgers. So there's our smash burger. Put that on this guy. Our regular burgers. Put him on this guy. Pickle, 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 a little bit of onion, Now if that doesn't look delicious as hell, what does. These burgers are going to be incredible. All we have left to do is to enjoy it. Alright folks, here we have our burger. This is our restaurant style, so not the smash burger. Looks pretty delicious, nice and cheesy, pretty traditional, proper cheeseburger. So there you see, there's my burger. You can see it's pretty juicy still, so I think we've managed to keep it moist. So I guess the proof is in the taste. Here I am. Here we go. So look, it is a little mushroomy, which is not a bad thing, I don't think. You can taste the mushrooms, but it is definitely juicy, and it's definitely delicious. Texture's pretty good. Using the less fatty meat, which for health reasons you might like, or simply for what's available at the shops, maybe that's all you can get. But this is a perfect way to make that work. Now, you could use bacon, and let's be honest, that would be even more delicious. And that's it. I'm gonna press the stop button and eat the shit out of this burger. Nom, 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 nom.